So here's a little solenoid motor, quite a while later. As you can see, it's changed some. Had a slight accident with some super glue on the wood there, so I need to scrub it off so it looks nice again. But this is going to be the explanation video for this solenoid motor. I'm not going to run it in this video because I can't find my battery bank and my power supply's in the garage. But I'll explain it. So first, the power comes in. These two pins here are for a female connector to go onto. These two are just to put some clip leads onto. They're the same. The power goes in here through this wire and then into the solenoid. Up that wire into the solenoid. Around all the turns in the solenoid. Then out here to this wire to this little guy. And that wire comes in contact with the crankshaft. Like that. That's the switch. The other power wire just goes straight through this switch to turn it on and off. Straight over here to this little support post for the crankshaft. Just soldered on there. Really bad soldering job, but that's okay. And then, so this is timed so that when this crankshaft first comes in contact with the copper wire, right there, the solenoid here is beginning to go on the inward stroke. So right there it starts. That energizes the solenoid, pulls the nail in, solenoid core. So here it energizes, pulls it in, it de-energizes because it's no longer touching that wire. The kinetic energy of the flywheel carries it around until it gets to the energized stroke again and flies past, and then that causes it to continue to rotate. Now some things that might cause it to not work is this core here could be too heavy, or you could have not enough friction or too much friction here and have it binding. It's got to be really just like it's got to be able to easily spin. You should just be able to spin it with your finger like so. And then you get a rubber band here, and you got to set the tension on the rubber band exactly right so it pulls the solenoid back in, doesn't let it fly out, but also so it doesn't hinder the operation of the motor too much. So the important things with this is make sure all these little tiny joints are straight, they're not crooked and binding, and make sure they're all oiled. And then this little tiny tube, a little nylon tube inside this that the solenoid is wound on, I just put a couple drops of motor oil on that every now and then, keep it all nice and slick. So this is a very simple motor, and my lamp's falling over. It's a very simple motor, and I hope this helps you to get yours working. I also forgot to mention this rubber band that's attached to the back. I just have it clipped on there so I can easily adjust the tension. And then this is attached to the solenoid. I just filed a flat spot in the nail that I'm using as a solenoid core and super glued the rubber onto it. Super glue bonds super well to rubber, so it's really good stuff. And just a tip, if you're putting little things on the board like this, don't use super glue, because that's what this big slick is from. Use hot glue and it comes off a lot easier. And power on this thing, this one will run anywhere from like about 4.5 volts at 2 amps all the way up to 20 volts drawing 30 amps. At that point this thing is really flying, but it doesn't last long at 30 amps before this thing gets all hot and melty. So I don't know, if yours not working, I suggest that you make sure that the timing on the switch is right, make sure that the tension on the rubber band is right, make sure that everything is running smoothly, and then just pour more current into it until it either gets real hot and melty or it works.